Welcome back. We're joined by our job and hiring experts right now answering all your questions about the holiday job season or finding a new career path in life. Will Graham from Graham Personal Services and Lee Howe from Guilford Works are both here answering your questions. So before the break, we said we talk about cover letters. These days, a lot of jobs you apply online. Do you still somehow put in a cover letter, and how do you do that, Will?
Putting together a cover letter? Yeah, so you're going to want to customize your cover letter depending on the job that you're looking for. State your objective as well. I think that's very important. Make sure it's grammatically correct, right? So if there are misspellings, that speaks to your details or lack thereof. And describe what makes you a great candidate for this role. Talk about the company that you're applying for. And cover letters and resumes, I know they are a little daunting, but the way I like to look at them is if you have a great cover letter and if you have a great resume, that can make you even more money than what could originally be stated. So almost look at it for a additional to get you noticed by the employer and something that can make you a little more money in your paycheck as well.
We all like more money, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you had a great cover letter or a great resume. You landed the interview. Someone wants to know, Lee, what are good questions for me to ask during an interview?
Definitely. Amazing question. So really, when you go throughout an interview, you really want to let the employer know that you're engaged. So of course, by active listening, maintaining good body language, and towards the end of the interview, it's always usually good to ask a few questions. One good question would be, what does the day in the role of someone with this job look like? So you're creating that conversation with the person that you're doing the interview with, so they can let you know from the time that you come in to the time that you're going to be leaving, what you're going to be doing. You may also want to ask questions about what the workplace environment may be like. Those who you'll be communicating with and working directly with, in that role. Do have a lot more questions that you may want to ask, but I do encourage everybody to attend my interview basics workshop, to where we do cover those lists of questions that you can ask after an interview.
Okay, big question. Do you ask about money at the interview or you'll wait, Will?
Um, that is a good question. I think if you don't know how much that position is being paid for by the time that you're in the interview, then it is okay to bring that up. And anytime, so the answer is yes. And so anytime that if the company hasn't disclosed it yet, then you have the right to ask it and know. So I think it's appropriate to bring that up.
So we're getting into a lot of questions about jobs for certain types of people. Someone wants to know, what resources are out there for people who have a record to help them find a job, Lee?
Definitely utilizing the NC Works Career Center, the one that we have at Meadowview and the one that we do have at the Emerging Workforce Center. We do partner with those locally who specialize for reentry. Again, so those who are possibly coming out of the criminal justice system, trying to find work. Like I said, we do have those reentry specialists that can sit down with them one-on-one, explain to them, explain their background to an employer. Just to have a sense of ownership, not saying that it didn't happen, but that it did happen. And these are the things that I'm doing to better myself, to get back into the workplace, to support myself, my family, and whomever it may be. So definitely utilizing the NC Works Career Center for their reentry specialist.
Okay, here's reentry of a different kind. Will, someone says, I have been retired for 7 years, I'm 70. Are there jobs out there for seniors if I want to go back to work?
Yes, there are, and there's jobs out there for everyone, and especially for seniors. So there's I think any person who's older in age, they worry, are they going to be discriminated against with their age, right? And one, that's illegal, but number two, there are talents and abilities that those with more life experience have than those that less. So your seniors are historically much more reliable as a worker. They have transportation. They do not have life crises going on and things like that. So I know job seekers may be worried about that, but a lot of employers have really kind of changed their tune over that over the last 5 and 10 years. I know it's a stigma, but a lot of employers see, hey, this person is reliable, they've got a lot of life experiences, and they can handle many different tasks.
Well, thank you guys so much. We're having even more questions coming in. We're going to tackle on the other side of this break, including work from home jobs. We'll see what there is there.